my friend.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Me,
Is Remy
you.
in frame? Yeah. Oh wait, hang on. There we go.
This is pre-show. We can say whatever we want now. So me, you, Dankelson, Jay Martini. Who else was in the Libertyville School of Rock, my friend?
Oh my God! Back then, John Ellis. John Ellis with the guitars and the beard, right?
Yeah.
John Tagliaferro.
Oh yeah, Tags. Yeah.
Was back then.
April Wright, the drummer.
This was before you. So Pete kind of joined in right as the old rocking chairs kind of disintegrated into. Now they are still in a band, so they do 5 Acre Flight.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do still.
Well,
play
wait,
out
5 Acre Flight. Then it went to Big Sky. I think.
No, they're still. Well, I believe they're still 5 Acre Flight. Big Sky.
Okay.
Cindy Newton.
Noonan. Yeah. Isn't it amazing how this stuff works out? Who's the good-looking lady next to you?
This is Remy, my daughter. She also, it's a family affair this week. She also plays bass.
Yeah.
Oh, now what's the story? So I remember something about how you got your dad to get into bass. Is that how it started?
Oh yeah.
What's the story on that? While we're just chatting here.
Oh man, I know my dad had a bass ages ago, before I was born. So and he plays guitar already.
When I was 20, for less than a year.
You got demoted. All bass players get demoted.
I think it was for the adult band because they were looking for a bass player, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, and so he. One of my basses, or did you just
I just stole. No, I stole your bass for the first rehearsal.
Yeah,
So,
it's still one of my basses.
yeah.
Probably my Fender.
So Remy, if you know Mike Zabrin, I don't know if you remember back those
No.
back then, but Remy was taking lessons in School of Rock and in all the bands, and so I was just always there. She's diabetic, so I was kind of I just wanted to be just in the area in case something. So I would just hang in the lounge, and I was there. I might as well start playing again.
And bass is usually more in demand.
I asked what they needed. I'm like, well, I can sing. I was like, there's no, you were there, there's no pressure for that. There's no anything. Just go in and play. And it was kind of like, well, what do you need? Well, we have a couple guitarists already. We have a couple singers. We don't have a bass player. I'm like, I can play on every song. And that was my entry back into playing bass. Yeah.
And how long ago was that?
Oh my god.
9 years, maybe? You were, 14 at the time?
I started School of Rock in my sophomore year, so I think it was my junior year I started doing stuff.
Probably something like that. But yeah, it was probably 9 years. Probably 9 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, around 9 years ago. Because I just remember
so long ago.
The band I joined since then. Our 7-year anniversary is coming up. I think on Halloween.
Which band is this now, Dave?
The current label is Crossing Decades.
Okay.
Right. We used to be called 413. The core group was called 413. We renamed
413. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. Changed some things up and went back. Made a different shtick going in. But myself and the one singer, we joined 7 years ago. Right. My head goes, I was probably playing 2 years before I did that.
From what I remember, I mean, pretty hard rocking group. Same type of music. Like, what do you guys play?
Well, so we play, as the name implies, we play like different rock blocks from each decade.
So quit my wanted, 'cause it's bringing her down. Sometimes I give myself the fix. That's why my mind plays tricks on me. It all keeps adding up. I think I'm cooking it up. And I just can't look. Yeah. And we made love. for death by rock and roll.
So we go from the 60s. We have a couple 50s tunes thrown in there too, but we go from the 60s till today. So we do some classic stuff. We do some more metal. We do some pop. Oh dear God, we added our first K-pop song.
Oh, is that the one you would like?
The band says we should try this. We should, like, people have heard of it, and I'm like, it's Apt by Rose. It's got Bruno Mars on it and such, so it's like it's got some airplay, I guess. But we had it was like the strangest thing, and I looked it up. I'm like, oh, this is a K-pop song, because one of our jokes is we play one country song, and we do play more than one, but it's
Right.
That's the scenario. Oh, we have one country. Well, I'm like, well, now we have one K-pop song.
Yeah, I like to joke like, oh yeah, I'll play on like any sort of music, but like his band, they literally do play any sort of music.
Yeah.
So what did you get started in, young lady?
So I started basically, well, so the thing that got me started doing bass, it's kind of silly, Guitar Hero, because basically it either always my dad or my sister playing, so I was always player two, and player two is normally the bass player, so that kind of got me into like wanting to actually play bass. But it wasn't really until middle school that I actually like started learning, because I wanted to join the jazz band. And so I remember, and like, cause like I was in the concert band, so I could already read sheet music. And so what I did to learn like what the notes were on bass is, cause I played euphonium, which is basically a small tuba. And I went into a practice room after school. I played a note on the euphonium and see where it matched up to on the bass. And that's kind of how I learned what the notes were.
No. About how long ago was that, and how did you get into School of Rock? I'm trying to put the pieces together, Dave, because when you and I were hung out right before COVID, and then things just went to hell.
Yeah.
Yeah, cause oh my God, the time. So
I know the
I'm
time
23
frame.
now. This was like I started learning stuff in like 6th grade, and then I didn't join the jazz band until 7th grade. But I was basically all self-taught. My technique was horrible. And another thing that actually helped me early on, like learning to play songs, was a game, Rocksmith, which is basically like
Oh yeah,
Guitar Hero.
Advanced rock
Yeah,
band.
Guitar Hero, but you plug in a real guitar or a bass. So like one of the early songs I learned with that was Tom Sawyer, actually, because my dad loves Rush, I love Rush.
yeah.
I would play along on the guitar because something like that. I'm like, okay, I can play along and try and relearn some songs too.
Yeah, but I know like early on, especially in middle school, my technique was horrible. I think often I would pluck purely with my thumb, which and like it wasn't until like I got into high school where one of the band directors actually does play bass, and he was like, "What are you doing?" and he helped me learn how to actually.
But you still play well.
Yeah, I started to play a lot better as he kind of showed me more of like how to properly play bass, and then was it? Where did we see a School of Rock?
Summerfest.
Yeah, we were at Summerfest one year. Was that when we saw the Stones?
Yes, it was.
Yeah,
So,
we saw the Stones at Summerfest, but like during the day, we saw a School of Rock band playing, and I was very interested in that. And it turns out, like I think it was like a year later, there was one opening up, like right by us in Libertyville.
I think it was really that. Not even a year later. I think it was later that summer, like July.
Yeah, something like
It was,
that.
I think it was right after the summer. So what happened? School of Rock opens Summerfest every year. So they'll from around the country and even globally, they'll have their bands there playing like 15. The kids will be up playing a 15-minute set over here, playing over here. And so we were looking at that, and I was like, well, Remy, would this be something you'd be interested in? Because we would find that or another program beyond just playing jazz if she was interested. And it was like, they're opening in Liberty. They're down the street from us.
Yeah.
And so not only did we like Remy's first like real big concert, right? Go big or go home was the Rolling Stones. That started like that. Later that I think it was the month after, she was taking lessons at School of Rock, and they just
At School of Rock, that's an amazing deal. I forgot who the owner was.
John Zabel is the one that owns the one.
John. Okay, there we go. And how long do you know about how long he's had that franchise there?
Since my sophomore year.
Yeah.
So,
9-10 years.
Okay.
Oh my God. It's been so long.
Yeah, it's been a while. I don't remember exactly when, but yeah, we were the first.
Remy, you're old.
Yeah.
I'm 23. For most people in the local music scene, that's young. But a lot of times you're like, oh, that was 10 years ago. And I'm like, what?
But I mean, for people that are like, you just like, I just moved to the area and I just wanted to play. I want to go up, and do something. That adult band, I forgot what it was, 150, couple hundred a month, whatever it was. And,
Something, yeah.
and you get together and then, you fight who gets to plug in and not.
I thought they did it with all the people they had. They did a good job of trying to keep everyone involved and such. But at the end, again, when things in the end, one of the reasons I ended up leaving though too is I'm like, well, I'm going to be getting less and less time here. But I also had a band,
Right.
so it was kind of like when I first joined up with my band. I was talking to Jay about it. I'm like, I don't know if I can kind of do this that much longer. And he's looking, and Jay, he's looking at me like,
Yeah.
Dave, I'm in like 4 bands. You can make it work.
Yeah. How did that work? Because John got Jay to come in and recruit people. I mean, we've had Jay
Well,
Martini on, great keyboard player,
oh
obviously,
yeah,
and
Oh
singer.
my god, yeah, he's insane.
he's my first like before after you knew me, I actually
Yeah.
went back to the adult band, but that's because I was taking vocal lessons. So back before I left the first time around, I hadn't had any kind of vocal lessons whatsoever. So
Hmm.
I could do certain things, but then Jay was my first instructor. And I've had a couple others since then, but he was
He doesn't pull any
I,
punches.
Oh yeah.
no, but he would also because he also recognized different things, and he
Yep.
was like, he's like, okay, at times he even had, he was just, he's a musician's musician. He knows what's going
Oh,
on.
I remember in the adult band sometimes he would just like pick up on random harmonies and it was really cool.
Yeah. But he would also sometimes feed us harmonies.
Yeah.
So at one point, it was kind of funny because we were using my, at that point, I already had a PA and stuff, and I actually have in-ears in the rack. So he knew I was using the in-ears, and he'd be like, yeah, make sure I'm turned up in your in-ear, because he would feed me the next harmony, like the first note of the next harmony that we would have to hit, just as a reminder in my head, because I was not that, I had not had, I had zero vocal
Yeah.
training before I met Jay. So no, but he would they for their adult band they always have their instructor, right? So the showrunner they'll usually play, fill in when needed, do different things, and then some of it was recruitment and such, but some of it's more like keeping things going. Sometimes setting up outside gigs, whichever. And they've run through. I can't remember the name of the gentleman doing it now. So yeah, Jay's obviously he's spending time between here and Maine. So he's
And his two-way
he's living
Jay.
on both coasts, depending on where the grandkids. Well, it's the grandkids.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
He's got the family out there. I don't blame him one bit.
No, well, he's a youngster like you and I, Dave.
Yeah.
No, that's School of Rock. That is a great thing to get things going. Remy, is that how it worked for you? Like, how did you did tuba? Is tuba like the base of horn
I did
instruments?
euphonium in middle school, which looks like a small tuba. And
Yeah.
then in high school, I switched to French horn just because I think it's a really neat instrument. I would still be playing it if there were like a reason for me to do so, because it's a really fun instrument. But it's like there's not really bands out there looking for a French horn.
Don't tell that to Mitch the Lip.
Well, no, that would be the perfect thing to tell Mitch the Lip. Remy has actually, I don't have a video or clip of it up right now, but many years ago, Remy did play with Mitch on stage.
Mike's band?
That was Mike, yeah, it was Xavier.
Okay.
That was so funktastic.
Yeah, Mike Zabrin, he was like the manager at the School of Rock when it first opened, and at some point I started taking bass lessons from him because he's like a phenomenal bass player.
Yeah.
And that's also kind of along the same time I started listening to more of like one of my biggest influences is Victor Wooten, because one of the first times I've heard him I was like, the bass can sound like that? That's so cool. And it kind of showed me that like, wow, bass is a really cool instrument. And so like
When your dad plays, not me.
No, when Victor Wooten plays.
Yeah, well, like every sound sounds intentional.
Yeah, Victor Wooten is
Even like all the little
phenomenal.
percussive bits that are normally like things that are normally considered mistakes. Like it all feels intentional and it works really well. And that's also kind of how I started to do slap, because for the longest time I was really bad with slap, and I think part of that was the way I have my jazz bass set up is very bad for slap because I have really thick strings and a really high action. But at some point my dad got a bass that, oh, no, not it's a
The green one or the?
No, the Ibanez. And it's like,
Oh,
this is
okay, the
my for
Ibanez.
slap. So I started to really learn slap. One of the first songs I learned for slap was "Sinister Minister" by Victor Wooten. But yeah, School of Rock and Mike Zaber, and he started teaching me a lot with bass that really started to get me going with like learning a lot more intricate stuff. And at some point, he invited me to play with his band on stage. And that was at Max on Slade.
At some point, it went
Oh, nice.
very early on, right? She was 14, I think, and
Oh my God.
because I remember Mike. Oh my God, Tiger, she's only 14, and it was the best. Again, I think I sent this one to Beth. One of the best double takes I've seen in my life, because here you have now Remy had played in jazz, had been to contests and stuff. So there's judging, there's people watching, there's people saying, well, you should play it like, you're very under scrutiny, very used to being in front of people. But the stage presence of a 14-year-old.
Oh my God, yeah, I had no stage presence. I was a statue.
But didn't matter, right?
They're 50-year-olds with no stage presence.
Yeah, but also
they're
like,
drummers.
If you were watching and not listening, you'd be like, "Oh, this poor kid." But also, if you listen, you're like, "Oh my God." So it was during, was it I Wish, Stevie Wonder?
Probably.
Yeah, but so Remy's just up there playing along, and it was I think the mother of one of the owners. She comes around there, Mad Cat, excuse me, Mad Cat's Max on Slade was once, but she comes around a lot and she's dancing and jamming. And then she just looks, and it's like she didn't realize Mike was not playing. So Mike had played there many different times, so they knew him in the band. And she's like, "Who's this kid?" It was hilarious. It was just one of the best double takes I've ever seen. But yeah, but then with Mitch the Lip, they were playing, I think, Kenosha Fest right up north. Right, and so yeah, it was just out there playing, and Mike calls Remy up for a couple different songs, and even as Mike knew this, we had the rules, like if Remy knows the song, she's just going to come up and start playing, right? Because he had to show, he sometimes he would forget, but be like, oh my God, I'm sorry, no, just come on up when you know something.
I remember one time he taught me how to play a song live on stage. That was an interesting experience.
Like coming out of break. Here you go. Here's a song. You're up.
Well, it's getting tossed in the deep end. I mean, you think that's there's different ways to learn music. The first way is just do it, right?
Yeah.
That's my
favorite way.
Yeah, make a mess, learn, and keep practicing. One of the things about School of Rock that I thought was very, very helpful is that the kids that go there, when they're playing with with other kids, they don't want to let the other kids down, so they tend to practice more than they do on their own. Have you guys seen that?
A lot. It depends on who you talk to, because I also know a lot of the instructors. Where I laugh, but like a couple of my vocal coaches, I've been like, yeah, what were you able to work on this week? I'm like, not a lot, and I'm like, but they know when I say I'm crazy busy, it's work, and it's not just I'm out playing with my friends. Because if I'm out playing with my friends, it's usually nowadays it's playing music, so I am working on whatever. But no, but they definitely, they definitely they all work together. It's cool to see. I mean, I worked sound for them many times. It's cool to see how they work together as a group and how in sync they just are, right? And then when Remy and I go up to some of these, like we do Andrew Blake's Monster Jam.
if you were in.
Make some noise for Remy!
playing that for several months, right? And then you see some of the times just like, to get on and off of the stage quick, you do. Or in my band, when the guitarist has a guitar change, I'm like, you should be done by now. Come on.
Or if there's three bands.
It's like pop, 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 pop. It's like,
especially now, have you seen like the current house band play? They're really fast about switching.
Oh yeah,
it's like, whoa, that's way faster than we were when I was a
for
house
sure.
band.
Well, they want to play more songs too.
Yeah.
So
A lot of cooler songs too.
So do you think learning music theory versus tabs, does it make a difference, whatever it takes to get you on stage? Like, Remy, how did you learn? I'm guessing you started with theory.
Yeah, this is actually very interesting because like I read like sheet music and stuff, and my dad, I mean,
tabs.
Yeah, he does like tabs and stuff.
Root note Pete.
Yeah, and in a lot of ways, it can kind of. So the way I heard it put that I really like is like you don't need music theory to sound good, but it can help you understand why something sounds good. Like it helps you understand like why certain harmonies or certain like walking lines will sound good over certain.
It's a
chords.
very valuable tool.
Yeah.
Right. Hopefully someday I will. Probably once I go, hey, I'm going to retire. The next day I'm diving into music theory. Now I know some, right, and it's not I understand the concepts and such, and so, but I learned by pattern. So I'll have the arpeggios down, but I'll do it because I memorize. Well, this song, these are all the root notes, and these are all the support notes, and so this is why this pattern works. And if all of a sudden if I'm in the wrong something, I'm like, but then I can go right back to whatever was on the pattern and still sound, still like link in with the band and the drummer and everything, and not have to,
Although I think a pitfall with music theory, something that I fell into early on, is I always tried, especially because I was doing concertment, I tried to play very literally to like the sheet music. Like even when I started School of Rock, I would find the sheet music for the songs I'm playing and try to play like 1-to-1. And it took me a bit with like doing jazz band in high school for a bit, director to kind of show me like how to do a bit more improv, and Mike Zabrin also really helped with that.
Well, it can really help a bass player is a good drummer.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, some of that.
You hear that,
you get
drummers?
Zones. Yeah, you get in those zones too, where it's like, sometimes the sheet music. I've had charts I pulled, and I'm like, oh god, this is just wrong. It's not the song at all. Right, and you get that all the time with the different places you pull tabs from. You get that all the time, but then before next rehearsal, I'm like, oh shoot, I didn't pull the right one. I have to transpose in my head again.
Remy, how do you get a bunch of youngins like yourself to get together and play? Number one, how do you agree on what music to play? And how do you keep the attention span is longer than 30 seconds before somebody wants to hear a new song? Skip.
In School of Rock, that was kind of, well, in some ways it was an issue, but in also ways it was less of an issue because a lot of times it was the instructors choosing the songs for us, and that really worked for me because especially then I was really bad at like coming up with like what I wanted to play on my own, so I just kind of played what people told me to play.
Yeah.
But I remember early on in house band there was some drama with like kids not wanting to play the songs.
Yeah, the one that was part of School Rock as well. The adult band probably had a little more freedom, but a lot of it for the youngers, they tried to be very careful with song choices so they could have everyone participate.
Yeah.
Right, you wouldn't just so you met Dankelson, right? So it wouldn't be just like, oh, Pete can play this song, but no one else can. It'd be you could definitely get into certain grooves like that.
But Dave, when we were together, because they were trying to get a second adult band going, and they were trying to merge the young kids with the old kids. And I'm like with Dankelson back in the early days, I'm like, this guy's running circles around me with the guitar. I'm like, who is this kid? And now look at him. He's playing with the struts, and
Oh my god, that's really cool because like he and I were both in the School of Rock from the beginning, and it's really cool because like he was always really good, but now it's like, oh my god.
And they actually, so this is after you were gone.
Yeah.
When I would start taking vocal lessons, all of a sudden I'm like, I went back to the adult band. But imagine this lineup, because this was one that was crazy. So Jay Martini was on the keys and did some vocals. Angie, I don't know if you met Angie Miller. She was doing vocals. I came in to do vocals because I really wanted to work on them. Walker Wilson was doing the drums. He was one of their instructors. He was
Really
just insanely good. and also could sing some too. So we had really 4, sometimes 5 different just quality singers on there. We had Taki was on rhythm guitar, phenomenal. He was one that just took to lessons.
And then for everybody out there, this is the Libertyville School of Rock.
Yeah, Libertyville School of Rock. And then Peter Dankelson on guitar, Remy on bass. We were pulling in songs where there was like ideas thrown out there. Remy J. Walker, and Peter were like stage ready the next week. Hey, let's do this song. So we all had to push ourselves to keep up with them.
Yeah.
It was such an insanely good time. We knew it wouldn't last, right? Because we knew Pete was going to leave at some point to go out and do his own thing. But yeah, we had a lot of fun with that group.
Oh, yeah.
Especially me, because here was me working the vocal stuff, and I'm like, okay. And literally, like, Angie and I we knew each other really well. She ended up being in one of my bands for a bit, but just meshed so well together on stage.
She moved to, like, what did she move?
Nashville.
Nashville.
She moved to Nashville, so now she's down in Nashville with her own band.
Oh,
Oh, hell yeah.
damn.
So-
That's
So School of Rock representing. The old guys for School of Rock representing.
I mean, that's serious. I mean, everybody's good there. That's the NFL of music, isn't it?
Yeah. And she's gotten into a couple different groups. She's a really good singer. As a really good stage presence. I mean, we worked, people, it was so funny. We did, God, where was it? It was one of like the mini festivals. It wasn't like a huge festival, Long Grove Fest. It was during their daytime though, when they had just the different stages around. So we did the School of Rock. They had the house band there, and then the adult band after them. And they were really like they told us, I was like, man, if we weren't we didn't already have the main stage booked, you guys would be on there for us. We're like, next year.
Just saying. So Remy, if you know music theory, I would think that compared to your dad and myself, you could learn like new music quicker than we can because we're just doing like rote learning and playing it over and over and over. And you got the theory. Can you pick up music a lot quicker?
Yeah, I tend to like if at least get like maybe not like the song 1-to-1, but like within a few go throughs, I could probably play through the song on stage and it sound like it's a complete song.
It also helps in many ways too when she looks at reading music, and I get this when you go to tab sometimes, the actual like time signatures and stuff, right? So being able to read music, and I was in marching band and band back in school, so I do know how to. It's just thinking of, well, that's an A on the bass, that's here or here.
A 4-string bass or a 5-string bass or 6 or
we draw the line at 5.
yeah, 5.
Play some Dream Theater songs.
How often do you use that 5th string, Dave?
Remy more than me.
Well, this thing, I unless I have to, I always play 4. It just feels better.
I typically try to stick to 4 only because I don't, in many ways I don't play, day job, real busy. I don't play enough to make sure I train myself to, like, I find myself when I bring my 5-string, I just sometimes just lose the 4-string song. I'm like, where the heck am I supposed to be?
I remember one time you played the 5-string that I built during like a rehearsal or something, and the 5-string that I built, I have it tuned E, A, D, G, C, so I have an extra high string, and it really threw my head out.
I was playing it like my 5-string, not Remy's 5-string. And she's like, oh, no, the lower ones. I'm like, oh, that's why it doesn't sound good at all.
So what bass players influence you, Remy?
Well, I mean, this is a very obvious answer for a lot of bass players, but like, Jaco and Victor Wooten are obviously big influences to me. They were kind of what got me into like really wanting to learn to be good at bass. Geddy Lee is another like obvious one because
he's crazy. How the hell did sing and play the bass and the riffs that he does? That's insane.
I can't remember the show, but I remember singing left hand on the keyboard, right hand playing the open strings on the bass, right foot playing pedals. I can't remember the song or the concert, but I remember looking at that going at one point. I'm like, how?
It's funny because Lee kind of does that such bad. He'll be playing guitar, keyboard, and singing at the same time. It's like, how do you do that?
My brain can't split that far.
Yeah, I normally don't sing, but I can like sometimes sing and play at the same time as long as what I'm playing isn't like super complicated. But even that's like a task.
Well, it just makes you look at, Sting, all the great singers and bass players that are out there, and you just like, it's really hard. I mean, you guys know more than anybody, but I mean, Geddy Lee to get all those high notes in and the low notes with the bass, that's
to play how he plays bass and sing.
yeah.
It's such an insanely weird, like, I mean, if I get something locked in, that's great. I can do it. Right. And even with my band, like I sing backups a lot too. I'll maybe a couple of these, but I'm like, what I do is generally simplify the bass line until I have it both locked in, and then try to bring that back up to speed, because I don't want to short the vocals. If I'm supposed to be singing, a backup to somebody, I want to make sure I'm there. But it's like so strange. It's like, oh my God, this is a simple little riff, and my brain just doesn't split into two.
An oddball answer for a bass player that influenced me is Charles Mingus, and I think he didn't normally play because he's a jazz composer, but he played bass, he did keyboard, I think he also did saxophone, but just like the way he writes the parts out, and like how the bass isn't just like a walking line, it fits so well into everything else, and it's just something that.
We are the foundation of the band.
Yeah.
Drummers, don't you forget that.
Yeah. Well,
it's the bass players that make it happen.
One instrument over another and important, because in any individual band, I personally think that every instrument is equally important, because like it's the way you arrange the band. If you're missing a part, something is very clearly missing.
So putting a band together, Dave, isn't that a fun experience? And then keeping it together?
From what I've heard, I'm still with I'm still with my first real band.
What?
What? Yeah, I've been with these guys. Yeah.
You're with your first wife. Wow, that's a lot of divorces in the music business.
I mean, I played guitar back in junior high and stuff. We just could play the chords, could play some stuff, just never had so many activities that never really, tried to do a couple things with bands, got together and played with people, but never really got into, any performance at all. Did a couple of like open mics at Dirty Nelly's back in the 90s. And from there, it's my band today. That's kind of the wild thing. And Remy too, right? Because Mudfish?
My first like band outside of School of Rock was Mudfish, because my mom was friends with the guitarist for that band, really, from I think like high school. Yeah, and so she knew that he was looking for a bass for a band, so she recommended me, and here I am. It's a really fun music place. I especially because like we do both originals and then an Alice in Chains tribute band. I prefer the originals just because like I don't know, I think they're pretty interesting songs.
Love Alice in Chains.
Oh yeah, that's
so you
a lot of that.
So you brought up the open mic. I mean, that's a great entry point for people if they just want to get started with something. They learned a song and they just want to get up there and wait your turn before whoever's running the thing that says, "Okay, kid, come on up here and play." But that's a great thing. That's a great thing to, some people run marathons. Some people learn a bunch of music and go in front of a bunch of strangers and go up there and, let it all hang out. And if you can do that, then School of Rock, and then get your own band once you get things going. Remy, are kids doing that today, or are they just playing music with laptops?
There are younger musicians out there. The problem is it's like kind of the culture of music. There's many different types of music. A lot of the music that's like pop music isn't necessarily something that like you could make a cover band of, or something that you just go out and play, or that you would. Or even if you like did make your own, you wouldn't necessarily have concerts of that until you make it really big. It's just kind of like the culture of the kind of music that's popular right now.
But are the kids taking like 4 chords and using AI and making their own music? And Put it out there.
I
That's
sure hope they're not using AI to make music, but
oh, they are.
I mean, yeah.
There's some bands are doing that too.
Yeah.
I mean, like, like just like taking 4 chords. In a way, I kind of don't like that comparison because a lot of music is like that. Like if you look at jazz, a lot of jazz songs are like, oh, this is the same progression as this. This is just a 12-bar blues, and so is this song. But they both sound very different because there's many different ways to play that sort of thing.
Dave, where are you guys playing next? Give us this show
right
comes out in
now-
about a week. So what
Yeah.
Remy, you got anything going on? Dave, you got going on? We're trying to sell some tickets here for you.
For sure. Migrating Coconut, or not Mike, excuse me. That's an acoustic gig I do sometimes.
Mike, wait, hold on. Now I'm interested. Migrating Coconut?
Migrating Coconuts. So that's my other side act. A friend of mine and I, he was in a band, played out. They're called Vertical Challenge. They played I call it the wine bar circuit because they were playing wine bars, right? They're acoustic. They play smaller places, but some nice, relaxing music. His band broke up, and he's like, "Man, I need a singer." And I kind of was like, "Well, I can sing." And so we don't play that often right now. A lot of it is just the day job getting in the way of stuff.
Yeah.
But we do have a lot of fun. We do have a lot of fun with that. Remy will join us occasionally, adding some bass depending on where we're playing. But again, that's like we'll play Carmel Street Scenes every year. A corporate event that has us every year, and then just a couple of different spots just to have some fun, just to get out and play some acoustic music. But Crossing Decades, the last weekend in October for Halloween show, we are playing Chicago Loop Sports Bar. We have actually played there. That's going to be Jen and I's 7-year anniversary with the band. We've actually been playing. So our lead singer Jen Brown, she and I joined right around the same time, and we had at the beginning of October we got a call from the Chicago Loop and going, "Hey, can you do 2 hours and at the end of the month?"
Sure.
And so we're like 30 songs in 30 days. So a
lot of solos.
We kind of were like, yeah, this is gonna work. So every time we played there, it's not. We'll say this is not official yet. We were trying to pull in Mudfish and or Allison Payne to play with us. They were looking for we needed a second group to go. We're like, well, we recommend these guys. We're getting everybody in touch with each other. We would love to play a show together. So that is, but for right now, is only the one that we know that's confirmed is us.
And then September 13th, this gig is kind of a ways away, like distance wise. It's at Ghoulie Fest in Davis, Illinois, which is I think
it's west of Rockford.
Yeah, I think it's like 2 hours west of where I am right now. So.
Nice.
It's not too bad, but it's a festival that they're.
One of the other band I'm in, it's a Tears for Fears tribute band. We're hoping to start gigging soon.
Nice. How long you guys been? How long you been together, Remy?
The Mudfish. Oh my God, I actually don't know. A few years now.
You can make up.
Yeah.
6 months. You guys will be there.
About like a year or so now.
Okay.
Maybe a little longer.
Probably just a year. It's been in the planning stages a bit.
Yeah, we opened for one of the Monster Jams, the 80s one.
Yep. But then
it's a family.
Unfortunately, the drummer got injured, so that pushed things back a little bit. But he's better now.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And it was interesting that you mentioned open mics and such, because the Big Chair, Remy got invited into that from an industry jam, as I guess they're called.
One of the Discord jams in Sundance.
Yeah. So I had started playing. I had gotten invited. Discord Jan had started up in Sundance. I'm like, well, this seems like fun. Most of the folks there didn't really know me. They started to get to know me. And then at one point, I'm like, Remy, you should do this with us. And she came in, and now no one wanted to play with me anymore. No, she came in and just blew the doors off. I think it was Motown. Was it Motown night or was it?
Something like I put on like a jam
disco or something like that.
Disco.
It was disco night, yeah. So she came in, played "I Want You." What? I want you back.
I want you back.
Everybody say.
On the Boogie and September.
Yeah, and those are just.
And Remy, you're going to give me some videos to put here, right?
Oh, sure, yeah. I sent a bunch to Beth.
I saw that. But you guys tell me, what are we opening up the show with? That's critical.
Okay. Yeah,
what are we going to?
We'll find ones to. Yeah.
Well, tell me off the top of your head. What's your go-to? What's your walk-up song?
Walk-up song. Basically, any sort of funk song is usually the one I love playing most live. But unfortunately, there's not many.
Seinfeld.
Come on, that doesn't have a real bass in it.
Yeah, that's actually.
I mean, the go-to that she's been playing forever, I would say, is September.
Okay.
That's just
another one.
Valerie's another one too. But that one, man, we have songs from the Monster Jam. They're making videos for us right now. So
Perfect.
if I get those as soon as we'll get, but I'll get you kind of like, yeah, these would be the ones to maybe. And she says, it's been so long. I'm like, yeah, well, that's when I sing. So yeah, I'd love to find a good area of that to cut in.
Yeah, an Avicii Cohen song called "It's Been So Long."
Yeah, and that's the crazy thing about Remy. She's comfortably playing. She'll play Geezer to Jaco to Victor to Avicii Cohen to whomever. I mean.
I just like playing bass. I remember there was, for like a semester when I was at COC, I did a jazz chamber group, and at one point the director was like going around asking like, "Oh, why are you here? Why are you playing music here?" And everyone had these like very deep answers, but my answer was just, "I like playing bass."
Succinct.
Yeah. And then what was the other big Mudfish news from July?
Oh yeah, I have an EP out now with Mudfish.
What?
Yeah, it's called Hooked. And like it's kind of been a dream of mine to have like music out there. And well, technically, there's already a song with me on bass out there from like years ago. It was like this one pop song I recorded for people who were like leaving School of Rock. I don't remember the name of the song, so I probably couldn't find it. But there was technically other.
Well, I have it somewhere.
You do?
I have a School of Rock library. Like any show Remy played at, I have video of someplace.
Recorded in a home studio.
Oh, I know, I have that too. Because Mike sent it to me. So.
Oh, haha, yeah. I'd love to like see it because I want to receive like, is that song released? But no, yeah, EP. It's called Hooked by Mudfish. It's on whatever streaming service is.
Yeah, every streaming service. I'll get you links to
Yeah,
it.
we'll put it right. We'll put it right
we
here,
can
Dave.
bet in and such. And then I sent them one of the. What are the 4 songs from there? I sent them. I sent it to Beth, so I make sure I get it.
No, I saw what came in. I'm just asking you what.
Okay, I didn't know if you were.
Yeah, what do you want to lead off? Think about it. Let me know because it's very important. Or you can have me choose Root Note Pete. You don't want me choosing your walk-up song. Oh man, David, it's good to catch up with you again, my friend, David Ziegler, and then we got Remy Ziegler. Nice chilling you got there.
Once though, Zeiger.
What'd I say?
Zeiger, yeah.
Zeiger.
You had an L in there. It's a common thing. Most people put like a Ziegler in there because there's like a Ziegler's cleaner and
Zeiger, like on the license plate.
Now you got me confused. Zeiger.
There
we go. We'll edit that out all in post.
It's German, but yeah.
No, it's good to catch up again.
Oh yeah.
Hey guys, great time, great show. Thanks for spending your Labor Day with us here, and hopefully we'll sell you some tickets, guys. If you figured out the algorithms, then you're a liar like the rest of them.
I haven't figured anything out. I just go through and go, we need a 1.5 minute promo for these 3 songs. What 3 songs can I mash together that sound good?
Put it all together.
Yeah, until as I told in the one chat window, I was like, yeah, cheesy camera audio and all. You know.
Well, hey guys, have a great Labor Day. See y'all in about a week. Go Aussie! Crank it out. You heard it, Ozzy.
Oh, Ozzy!
Ozzy!
Not here.
I thought you said Ozzy.
Ozzy, that's gonna be a fun. If you can't see in the background, there's our bat.
Oh yeah. Oh, the head's still on. Bite it off. Oh, there it is. Okay. Oh, David Remy, thank you so much, guys. Have a great Labor Day, and it's good to see you again. See you at School of Rock soon.
Yep, good to see you. Thanks,
man. All right, guys. Bye-bye.